Well, hello everyone. I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Denver, Colorado, and you're watching All Up in Your Business. In today's episode of All Up in Your Business, we're going to talk about partnerships. And not specifically partnerships, but more generally just going into business with somebody else, whether that's bringing on a partner or an investor, or in one way or another, giving interest or ownership in your company to somebody else. Many of us, myself included, start a business as a solopreneur, which means it's just us. Just one person, you're wearing every hat that exists, and every facet of your business is you. In many instances, there's going to come a day or an opportunity where someone else wants to take some kind of ownership interest in your company. Sometimes you run out of money and you need an investor, and so you offer, let's say, 20% of your company in exchange for money from your investor. Or you need some other benefit or service from somebody, and instead of paying them, you offer them some equity or ownership in your company. Partnerships can come in a million different forms, but what it boils down to and what I'm talking about is generally just giving ownership of your company to somebody else. Now, I'm coming more from just the business owner perspective and not necessarily a lawyer perspective. But in my opinion, as a business owner and as someone who works with small businesses every single day, it's my opinion that you should not give ownership of your company away easily. Now, unless this person, this investor or this potential partner, unless they have a lot of capital, a lot of money that you need, or if they have some kind of skill or talent or expertise that is vital for the long-term growth and success of your business, unless one of those or both is the case, don't give them a piece of your company. I talk to a lot of business owners who have someone that's been working for them from the beginning. You know, a lot of times when it's a small business, when it's just us working with one other person, we tend to really fall on that person, and that person contributes a lot for the growth of our company. And so we want to reward that person, or we want to incentivize them to continue working for our company or to continue caring about the long-term growth of our company. And so I talk to a lot of people who are in that situation, and the first thing they think is, well, in order to incentivize this person, I'll give them 20% of the ownership equity in my company, or 10%, or whatever it is. And my first response, my first thought is, why? What are you looking to get out of it? Are you solely just looking to incentivize this person? You want to reward this person? That's really nice and a great thing to do, but you have to keep in mind what you're giving up. If you're now giving away some of the decision making or some of the management control, now it's not just your company, it's somebody else's, and you have to listen to somebody else's opinion, and you have to give somebody else a vote and a say-so. And I'm hesitant to encourage people to do that. I remember a conversation that I had a few years ago with a gal who was starting a business, and she had an opportunity to rent a space from somebody else. And what she said is, this person who wants to rent me the space has offered to rent it to me for free in exchange for X percentage of my company. So instead of paying rent, I'll give him 10% of my company, and that's going to compensate for the rent. And she was wondering if that was a good idea. And just instantly, I said, no, that's not a good idea. If your benefit of giving away a portion of your company is you get a space, office, or a location to do your business, that, in my opinion, is absolutely not worth it. There are many other opportunities and other options for finding a space besides giving away ownership of your business. So something like that is not one of these things where what this person has to give is so vital to your company that it warrants giving up a portion of your business. I'm a big fan of the TV show Shark Tank. On some episodes, they're giving 20, 30, 40, 50% of their company to one or more of the sharks. Now, this is an instance where it usually is a really good benefit to give away that ownership. Because number one, you're getting capital, obviously. If you're on Shark Tank, usually you need more money. And the sharks, that's why they're there, is because they've got a lot of it to give away. So in exchange for this ownership, they're getting capital, but they're also getting this expertise and this person by themselves can be the make it or break it for their business. If your company will thrive on QVC, you need to get Lori Grenier as your partner because she's got this in that you can't get anywhere else. And so that's something where I'm talking about, where if this person has something that is going to be the make it or break it for your company and you can only get it from that person, fine. That's something where I would entertain the idea of giving away ownership. But in exchange for rent, no. Or in exchange for a service, no. If you've got someone developing software for you, you do not have to give them ownership of your company just because they're developing software for you. All of this really is to say, if you're thinking about giving away equity or ownership of your company, if you're thinking about bringing on a partner, do not go into it lightly. Really think about it. Think about what you're giving up because it could be bigger than what you realize right now. Giving up 10% of your company right now may not seem like a very big deal, but later on down the line, 10% can be a huge chunk of money, or it can be a huge chunk of decision making. 10% can be a lot bigger deal than you realize. And think about what you're getting in exchange for it. And if it's really something that is worth giving up your company for. Because in the end, there are other ways to get a service, get a product, or other ways to reward or incentivize or appreciate hard work. If it's from an employee or a service provider or someone who's contributing something to your company, there are much better ways to say thank you than to give someone a chunk of your company. That's all for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.